Well, we've not got long left.
What, you're saying it could still happen?
Yeah, well, that's the end of the 3 minutes now. Anyway, Hunter. Ball is now with Jack Senior, and that is the end of the game.
It is. Yep, another performance that had moments of a potential start. The first 15 minutes from Maidstone were fairly solid. The ball was kept, chances were made, Viggers was making the runs, but unfortunately just didn't go well enough for Maidstone this afternoon. The consistency wasn't there for the rest of the match, and Halifax, just some of the simplest football you'll see all season and some of the most effective goals that we've seen scored against us this season. Takes us over the 100 goal mark conceded in all competitions this season, and it just shows Maidstone knife through butter again at the back. Plenty of youthful options that George has got available, and it will be great to see some of those next season. But we've only got 2 games now against second and third in the league, that you'd hope that Maidstone would be able to get some sort of pride back in those performances, because let's be honest, results wise it's probably going to be quite difficult for Maidstone to get anything back out of those two, considering Notts are still in a title race, and as we've been discussing on air, of course, Chesterfield getting at least a point against fellow playoff side Eastleigh, Woking playing Notts County. Every match outside of ours really counts, but those two sides that Maidstone have got to play have got massive things to play for. Notts County a title and automatic promotion, and Chesterfield making sure that they can skip a playoff game. So for Maidstone it's just personal pride and passion that needs to be shown, and there's been so little of that for the bulk of the season. And you look at a side like Halifax, who had scored just as many goals as we had going into today's fixture, as you pointed out at the top of the show, Darren, and yet they are, double the points of Maidstone United, and have themselves a Wembley Cup final to look forward to in a few weeks' time. It's proper sliding doors, and it has been all darn season long.
Well, it's half the goals conceded, that's the thing. So that's why they've got double the points. And the point is, you cannot play well for the first 45 minutes and maybe just into the second half. You've conceded a goal through a piece of stupidity. There's no other way of describing it, I'm afraid. Look at it on the video. Then, Halifax have just taken the ascendancy, and you concede another 2 goals. You cannot do that. And they know what they've got to do. They've got their foot in the door. They've got a goal. It's an even game. So, you can come back into it, but we just haven't had that. The point is, when we do make what ideally, when you're a defender, what you want to do is you want to play your best, you want to be 100% consistent, but if you do a foul up like Tom Hadler did, you want the confidence that those guys in front of you are going to say, right, and this is teamwork. We've seen too many good individual performances and too little teamwork. This is teamwork. You want them to be able to say, right, okay, Tom, you've made a mess of that. Fine, we understand that. We're going to get you out of it. We're going to play well, and we did that for a time, but you can't do it for a time. You've got to do it for 90 minutes plus.
Yeah, you have. And I mean, we pointed out Stott as being a potential man of the match contender alongside Ali, behind Di Saruwa, who all 3 of them to a man were fantastic this afternoon as the music finally dies down. I'm sure we'll get another blast, but it's there it is. But it's having someone like Stott at the back consistently that's able to command that defensive line. We saw it. We joked. We said that Stott hadn't mentioned anything, or anyone in that back line had. Well, no one's playing an offside trap, and then literally commentators goes, as soon as we said that, you saw Stott going, hey, get up, and this is like a 1-0 lead against a relegated side just before half time, coasting by that point, and you're really seeing the passion of other sides and other players wanting to go and get these results and these performances. The performances have been okay from Maidstone. We're never going to say they've been good, but you watch most of them this season, certainly in the second half of the season since George has taken over, and you go, not many of them have led to tankings. You've had York just before Hack went, and you had Borehamwood, and today I'd probably say we probably played better than we did against Boreham Wood today.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But the fact that Halifax, who aren't in the playoff shout at all, but played like they were a playoff side because they've got that Wembley confidence boiling up in them, and it does surprise you. You just think, I said earlier, Gateshead with the 8 wins in a row before today's home defeat to Bromley. Could Maidstone, that sliding doors, could Maidstone have had an 8-game winning run to get them to a similar position to Gateshead in the Cup as well as in the league?
Yeah.
And there's so many fine margins. They signed someone like Dinanga, they put money in and bought a striker who's bagged a shed load of goals to get them higher up the league. Maidstone clearly not in the market, not able to bring someone in like that, and instead loses the top scorer for this season and second top scorer for last. And that's not a way for you to be able to get yourself ahead in this division. So I think it's clear to say that Maidstone have been dead man walking probably since around the time Hakan was shown the door. And George, with the limited resources he's got, has done the best that he can. And unfortunately, a stab at whatever we were looking for this season has not happened. 20th would have been amazing at the start of the season. And unfortunately, it's back to the drawing board. That drawing board has been fairly chalked up a lot behind the scenes from what I've been hearing, what guys have been saying. And, they're fairly confident they're going to have a decent competitive side to start next season's National League South campaign. So it's a shame it almost feels like a wasted season, but there are going to be those few memories, the cup run, the few home games, But,
You've got to learn.
You have got to learn. 19 defeats and 4 draws in the last 23. I genuinely cannot think the last time this club had a run of that ilk. I think we said off air before we came on, Darren, it was about the 70s when a run that bad occurred.
Yeah.
Even when we went down 4 years ago, we went 7-8 games and then we popped up with a win. We out-housed at Aldershot. We out-housed at Barnet. We out-housed a home win against Barnet near the end, for example. The Haventon Waterlooville game.
Well, the summer recruitment list has got to include. I mean, we've seen so many defences where they've got that ability and that solidness.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Scott Cuthbert and Joe McNerney at Woking. You look at you look at Stott and the 2 seniors today. I mean, Adam Senior's on loan from Bolton, and he wasn't really playing in the centre-back position, but he was playing in a defensive midfield. You look at those players as rugby posts go up. I don't know when the next rugby game.
I'm assuming it's rugby league tomorrow, probably.
Yeah. Anyway, you need to have that spine. You need to have a goalkeeper that you can rely on and is consistent. And unfortunately, neither of the guys we've had this season have been able to show that. Now, whether it's going to be one of them next season that's going to be doing it or not, I don't know. That's up to George Ellacobi to decide. But we need, let's face it, we've got to be resigned to the fact that Booty isn't going to be playing for us next season. So we need a little bit of creativity and a little bit of steel in midfield. One of the things that certainly a lot of fans have discussed, and I would agree with, one of the things that we really needed to go out and get, had this investor come in and the money been made available, one of the things we really needed to go out and get was, and I've got to try and say this without using swear words,
please do,
difficult, hard, tough,
no nonsense
that's
the one
guy to play in front of the back four. John Watson, Reece Prestige.